Hey, this is Coach Yolanda. I want to talk about the four kind of men to avoid while dating. The first type of man to avoid is the playboy. So we all know what the playboy is. The playboy is a man who has an issue with commitment. He has an issue with being with one woman. He has what I call the bigger, better syndrome. He could have a good woman, things could be going good. He'll see something bigger, better breast, bigger, better booty, smaller waistline. He gone. He done left this woman and he gone to the next one. He's a playboy. He's not emotionally stable. He is not the kind of guy that you want to date because he's going to break your heart. If you're looking for monogamy, if you're looking for a stable relationship, this is not the guy for you. How are you going to know him before you get your heart invested? You're going to look for some red flags. Is he missing for hours at a time? Are there times when you know he's not at work, you text him and he don't respond? For extended periods, like hours. Have you met his mom? You guys are in a relationship, been dating for 3-6 months. Have you met anybody in his family? Do you call him or does he call you? Playboy, playboy, playboy. Is his conversation only about sex and not about getting to know you, the person, but getting to know you, your body? Signs that you could be dating a playboy. The second type of guy to avoid when dating is the mama's boy. Oh my. The mama's boy is the guy who can't make a decision without running about his mom. He could be still staying at home with her. He could be already moved out. But everything he runs by his mother to get her opinion on the matter. Mama, what you think about? I was thinking about this. What you think? Every decision he runs by her. This is not the guy that you want to date. This is not the guy you want to marry, because he's not going to be able to make a decision without talking to his mother. And when you get married, you're supposed to leave and cleave. Your mother doesn't hold that spot as the most important female in your life once you're married. That spot now belongs to your wife, and he's going to have conflict because his mom is not going to want to give up that position that his wife will deserve. You are headed for heartache and drama if you date and marry a playboy. So avoid him at all costs. The third kind of guy to avoid while dating is the dreamer. This is the guy that has notebooks and notebooks of visions and vision boards and goals. And when you ask him, where do you see yourself in 5 years? He has no clue. Where do you see yourself next year? He doesn't know. Where do you see yourself by December 2023? He doesn't know. He is the guy who is the 40-year-old rapper still striving for that dream. You hadn't had a job in 20 years because any day now you're going to hit it big. You fall in the category of being a dreamer. It's one thing to have dreams. I'm not knocking dreams. But the Bible says that you have to write the vision, make it plain so those who read it can run with it. If it's not plain, if it's not detailed, if it's not laid out, you can't run with it, much less anybody who's assigned to help you. And as a wife, we are assigned to help our husbands accomplish the thing that God called him to do. And if he doesn't know what that is, number one, he doesn't know how to bring it to pass. Number two, you setting yourself up for failure, because you're going to be married to that 48-year-old who's still believing that he's going to be a rapper. at 48. Yeah, dreamers, they have the potential, but they don't know how to execute. They're stuck in the dream state. And number 4, the man child. This is the man who's grown but acts like a 12-year-old. Everything's hee ha ha, nothing serious. He's not responsible. He's the guy that owns a car without insurance. He's the guy that drives the car with no seatbelt. He's not responsible. He doesn't understand that certain behaviors that you have consequences. This is not the guy that you want to date and marry, because he's not responsible, and he's going to end up being head of your household. And you don't want an irresponsible person who is an adult but acts like a child to be head of your house. You're setting yourself up for failure. He's the kind of guy that will go to work, get a paycheck, and quit. He's the kind of guy that will sit home and play video games all day while you go to work, and then you have to come home and cook dinner. Yeah, he's that guy. I promise you, you don't want to marry that guy. If you run and tell mama's boy doesn't take anything seriously, run. He is not the kind of guy that you want to date. I want to recommend a book. Steve Harvey wrote a book, Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man. That book goes into much more detail about the 4 kinds of men. And he did a really good job explaining what that man looks like. But he also went into details about boundaries and how you should set up boundaries with them and what you should and should not allow. If you have not read that book, I highly recommend it. It gives you a glimpse of those 4 types of men. Also, if you're not a reader, grab the movie. Catch it on Netflix. It does a really good job of describing what I'm talking about today. So be careful of the 4 types of men to avoid: the mama's boy, the playboy, the man child, and the dreamer. That's all I have today. Until next time, this is Minister Yo, Coach Yolanda. Have a wonderful day.